Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Box Mining here. Today, we have a full lineup on what is happening on the latest digs on cryptocurrency news. In fact, there's a mysterious investor, not so mysterious after all, but he says he's going to invest $1.5 billion. So we're going to find out who that is. We've also seen very strong data to suggest that the whales have actually bought the dip. So, remember when crypto prices crashed last week? It was a pretty big mess, but it turns out that whilst people are panic selling, we know that China was definitely panic selling. The whales, right, the big holders of cryptocurrencies, they've been just buying it in. We've seen on-chain data to suggest that they are pushing very heavily. Today, we're going to be joined by Nathan. That's our favorite friend from Crypto Nuts. He's going to cover part of the news, so he's going to do some super cool stuff. Hey, Nate, how is it going, Nate?
Hey, Box Mining and Box Mining family. It's going well, guys. I'm really excited to be here. There's a ton of news. There's a ton of bullish stuff happening, and a lot of different corporations are trying to hop on this crypto train. So I'll be talking about that later today.
Yeah, and I think like today when we're reviewing the news articles and the roundup, it's so positive.
Yeah.
I've never seen the situation so positive before. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover the news first, and then we're going to do some analysis on the markets about what's going on, seeing how the news is impact. So far, all right, I guess, you guys all see this. So far, the markets have been remaining a little bit steady, but that's actually a good thing because the fundamentals are building up. And recently as well, we've seen a lot more people who haven't talked about crypto before, especially a lot of boomers are talking about crypto now. So that's an interesting area to explore. Before it's all these young kids, and now it's like maybe some others going two on two. We're also joined by another special guest today. So this is Yuen. Yuen is the CEO of Labs Group, and Labs Group is doing a lot of stuff with real estate and property. Welcome, Yuen. Yuen's muted. So
You're muted.
Yuen, I think you have to unmute yourself, Yuen.
Hi, everyone. Yep. Sorry, kind of new here. Yeah. So thanks to Michael for having me, and Nathan. Yeah. Nice to see everyone here.
Yeah, good to see you.
And Yuen, I love your background. I've seen that office before. The nice, that amazing view outside of Tsim Sha Tsui, seeing Hong Kong skyline. It looks amazing, Yuen. Yuen, if he looks out, I think the cameras we get a good view of that. But Yuen is joining us, and he's going to provide both a lot of insight about what other people think, because you've been in the property space, you've been more in kind of you've been both sides, right? You've been both the crypto side and the more traditional investment side. And we're gonna get some of your views on what's happening with traditional investors as well. I think I've gone to a few CEO conferences with you, like CEO meetups and top executive meetups, and I want to hear what you have to say. So that's gonna be all in for today's episode. We're gonna do news, we're gonna do the markets, we're gonna talk a bit about Yuen and Labs and seeing some insights on what's happening there. So let's get the episode started. Let me get the intro started here and let's get going. All right, yeah, we got the intro out and let's get Nathan. So Nathan, let's get you on the news stuff first to see what's happening on the news front. So let me throw your screen up here. Boom.
Word. Yeah, so dude, that intro is pretty dope. I like all the transitions. But anyways, so what's up, everyone? I'm here to talk about a few topics here that I have pulled up on my computer. The first and most important one would be this New York Times article where Biden proposes a $6 trillion budget to make the U.S. more competitive. So this is the highest budget proposition since World War II. It's gonna be up to $8.2 trillion in 2031, and this is kind of, so my thoughts on this is, it's good, that he's planning to do investments in education, transportation, and climate change. I feel like we need it, but I don't know if it's the best time. We're just coming off a pandemic right now, and it's good for Bitcoin, it's good for crypto, but for the rest of the country, just injecting that much money into the circulating supply of the US dollar.
Again, right? This is not the first time this happened. I mean, last year, wasn't the total around 20 to 30% Depending on when you count the year, of all circulating supply of USD being injected into markets, right? This is just insane.
Yeah,
I mean,
he keeps doing it. Like people have just been injecting money since 2008. There was that the financial crisis. Boom, they did it again. It's like clockwork. Like every chance they have to press this printing money button, they press it. It's nothing.
So it's not good. I mean, it's not good to hold on to US dollars now. That's a scary part. I think like as this goes on, I mean, I feel like this is a situation where you're like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, right? Or you ain't gonna get fooled again. But but the whole point is that consistently, like we used to joke, right? Oh yeah, we don't want to hold on to any shitty fiat, but it's becoming quite true. If you're holding on to US dollar, especially if you have a retirement savings fund, I mean, wouldn't you be concerned that you're so exposed to US dollar, and if US dollar just goes down in effective value? And we've been seeing some signs. I mean, we haven't seen hyperinflation yet, but we've been seeing a lot of price hikes for quite some everything around. If you look at luxury items, especially, price hikes are going up. I mean, if you look at watches right now, it's like ridiculous. It's stupid. Like everything is up like 2x, 5x. It's stupid. Yuen, how about on your side? I mean, how do you see this? Are you concerned, like, of how much money is going into the U.S. economy? How much money is being printed? The money printer going burr endlessly like this?
Yeah, I'm actually happy to see that. Yeah, because it's good for my industry. The reason why how I see it is because they keep on printing money, and money has to go somewhere. And also, it's good for crypto. It's good for digital adoption and all this. And for us, the resort and hotel operators are suffering. So it's good time, to talk to them. In fact, they want to come and talk to labs. Yeah. So it is a good time to
give me a rundown. So I guess like for people who haven't watched this yet, so I'm sorry to interrupt you there. So Labs is very involved in real estate, right? So you've been working in that space for quite some time already. That's what you're saying. It's good for your industry because as the US dollar, as that kind of goes down in effective value, do you see real estate? But right now is an interesting time. What you're saying is that we see this happening to the US dollar, but at the same time, real estate is very different, right? It depends on which sector of real estate. So if it's residential real estate, we see that going up, but at the same time, commercial real estate, that's going down. And also like tourism, especially hotels, especially, that's going down, right?
Yes, precisely. And so that's why we have to select our target market very carefully. Yeah. So now we are talking to a lot of resort operators, hotel operators. Yeah, they come to us, they want to talk to us. They want to find alternative solutions to their situation. Yeah.
So it's not a good situation right now. So it's not a good situation. Interesting. All right. So I guess this is a situation where I think with the U.S. economy moving the way it is, it's like they're addicted to printing money right now because the economy just isn't kind of like recovering. So, anyways, Nate, what's next on your news lineup?
Yeah, so I'm a little concerned. I mean, obviously my family, they're here in America as well, and they're the ones that are going to be. I mean, they've worked their whole life for an inflationary asset, so it's going to be tough. But next up, we have a different country that's just the neighbors to our north, Canada. Canadian regulators accuse crypto exchange of breaking securities law. So essentially, there's a statement that the OSC came out with in Canada, and this is the statement right here, and they're accusing Poloniex of essentially not coming through with just like not cutting them in. That's what I think. They're charging them $1 million. So they said
$1 million?
Yeah, and it's nothing for them, right? That's just like it's like chump change. Like $1 million, or we're gonna get mad right here. Look, Poloniex pay an administrative penalty of not more than $1 million for each failure. So
but each failure, how many failures did they not comply with, though?
I only read one, a few maybe though. Yeah, they only said that.
Okay. C. Okay, right. Okay. Yeah, A, B, C, C. All right. So that's nothing, right? That's chump change for these cryptocurrency exchanges. I mean, $1 million of revenue per day. seems to be, pretty common in cryptocurrency exchange space. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some exchanges are generating way more than that, especially Poloniex, being around for some time. So I guess yeah, what you're saying is kind of true. They're not just salty. They're not being cut into this, huh?
Yeah,
They kind of miss out on crypto.
They're just like, we want this, and it's like, we want $1 million from there. I mean, this literally, it is what it is. They're just gonna pay it. I feel like, or they don't even.
And I think it's quite surprising too. I think back in the day, a lot of regulators and lawyers, they kind of totally didn't care about crypto because they didn't realize it was money. But I think now it's like this year, it's like they realize it's money, so they're like, yeah, okay, you gotta comply and you gotta pay some fines. Like, guys, let's, yeah. Anyways, whatever.
Yeah, moving on. So the SEC chair is also saying that new regulations need to come in. So essentially, that it needs to be like, the stock, the New York Stock Exchange or other places, they need regulation. And I get where he's coming from. He thinks that, without regulation, you have to protect the people, the investors. And it does two things. The first thing is it kind of deters everyone else from involving America. I feel like the world's just going to move on without us. And the other thing is, I mean, it's good that he wants to regulate it because at the same time, the other side,
I think the target here is front running, right? And front running is quite a big problem in crypto because the issue is not just with exchanges. Exchanges, when you put out an order a lot, most of the time it's live. Hopefully, yet again, sometimes it might not be. They might hold on it. Sometimes you see orders fail, even though it should go on the market. But I think the bigger issue is with OTC desks. So a lot of times, the bigger institutions, when they go into crypto, you hear Elon Musk buying $1.5 billion. He's not just going to click a button on Binance or Coinbase to buy $1.5 billion worth of crypto. He's going to buy OTC and using these services for institutional clients. But the problem is the moment he submits an order to them, a lot of times there's also, kind of over a discussion or a chat. The moment that happens, of course, they can try to front run Elon Musk. So I think it's kind of like the industry overall. And I've heard many situations where there are services that, secretly kind of front run people. So I think something like this, people need protection. And I think even more so in the DeFi space, when an order is submitted to the Ethereum network, it can get front run by bots. This happens a lot. And the side consequence is that the transaction fails, right? A lot of times when you're buying something that's hot, the transaction fails because, you're getting front run, right? Yeah. So this is a big problem. I think it needs to be solved on both fronts, both on the centralized exchanges and on the decentralized exchange front. So, I'm not, I think some people should really, there are people that I hear in the industry that's really bad at this. So anyways.
I think there's also an article called Ethereum is a Dark Forest. It's written by Sam Cizun and a few other devs. And it's very interesting. If you have time to read, check that out.
What's it about?
Essentially, it's talking about how front running works and how bots work and how if there is in Ethereum, it's like a dark forest. Like if there is a chance to front run you and make some money, somebody's going to do it.
Yeah, it is a Wild West right now. So Netflix now says we need some regulation right now. It is the Wild West in blockchain. It is what matters is what a man can do and what a man can't do. And most of the time, it's free game, right? So we have another chat from this as well. Elijah Killen says, referring to the earlier talk about the Ontario government one, it's protection racket. And it is true. Governments want to cut. That's pretty simple. It's pretty clear and simple. Governments want to cut it in crypto, especially when there's so much money floating around.
Yeah,
they're being left out. That's
I gotta cut them in. Yep,
gotta cut them in.
Next up, so here's an interesting topic that I thought was pretty funny. More Americans have heard of Dogecoin than Ethereum, and unfortunately, this is true even from my circle of friends.
This is so sad. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally.
But again, is it true for your circle of friends as well?
Yeah, I'm curious.
I'm curious to know. Is it true also for your circle?
No, luckily I have smarter friends.
Burn! Burn, burn,
Yeah, well,
burn. Hey, look, I got a Dogecoin right here. Check it out. Oh, it's too small. It's too small. I'll put it on this camera.
focus.
I got a Dogecoin. It arrived in the mail. It's a literal Dogecoin.
Yeah, so Doge, man, like that's the first things they heard of. Those are the first people that hit me up. And also Apple. This is the final thing for me. Apple's looking for crypto experience in alternative payments. They listed a job yesterday. Here it is. They want people who have experience in this kind of stuff for their wallets, payments, and commerce. They're looking for somebody to help them out. They need 10 years experience, blah, blah, blah. But essentially, I think they're exploring the possibility of accepting crypto. That's my
fintech, baby. 10 years experience in fintech, and like that kind of side skirting the issue of like crypto specifically. But we know what you're talking about, Apple. We know.
Right here.
You don't have to play games with us, Apple.
Yeah, just tell us, bro. What do you need?
What you need? When you need it. We got Bernard Starr also say Ethereum, spelled with an I. This is how most people pronounce it, but apparently that is trending in crypto right now. So Ethereum is trending. Let me see if that's actually true. Ethereum is trending.
Ethereum.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Ethereum. Are people posting about Ethereum? Yeah, I guess.
Mostly Doge.
Mostly Doge.
Yeah, Doge.
Trending. Oh man. Man, this is a crazy time. I have a few last articles of news to fill up on. So first of all, Binance Smart Chain is adding cipher trace to track illegal transactions. So it does seem like that this is something that needs to be happening for a few of these chains where if you do need to comply with the Financial Action Task Force. All right, this is pretty serious. So yet again, I've been speaking to a few friends who are professionals in the space, and the Financial Action Task Force is no joke. So what seems to be happening is Binance. I'm not sure if this is motivated by regulators, but they're adding this kind of layer here, which if to some certain degree, if some people are violating the law, if they're found of money laundering, then there's a certain action they can do to prevent those funds from moving around. So I think this is kind of interesting. So it might be from pressure from regulators to comply. That's maybe we'll have to read between the lines over there. Second of all, I found this is interesting. Okay, so I'm warming up to the bigger news here. This is interesting. Chinese province proposes social credit blacklisting of Bitcoin miners. Like, what? Okay, so we know that China has a social credit system. So if you do bad stuff, right, you're going to be denied loans. You're going to not be able to travel on transit anymore. They're going to try to blacklist you from anything the state provides, right? This is kind of interesting. So if you're being caught being a Bitcoin miner, because it seems like the case that they're trying to crack down on Bitcoin mining, but they're failing. So you know what? They're like, oh yeah, we'll add this extra last step in here. We'll deny you loans if you've been caught Bitcoin mining. I'm like, most miners make a lot more money than they need to loan for anything overall. Yeah, so I guess have a nice life. Enjoy.
Do you think it's part of the FUD? It's part of the FUD. Final step of the China FUD before
Well, I think the way the China FUD works is like from the top. They said crack down on crypto, and then on every single department under the top, they've got to show face. They got to show hey, we're doing something. So the social credit guys are like, yeah, you know what, we can blacklist those miners, right? And then some power guys are like, yeah, we'll try to find where they are. It's not really easy, but we'll try, right? And then so every single department's filtering around, and then maybe like the guys in charge of exchanges, yeah, we'll throw a few X exchange founders into questioning for a while. We'll do that to give face. That seems to be generally how it works in China. So that's kind of what's happening in the last 2 weeks. It seems like China's trying, they're trying, but yet again, like we've seen the market react initially in fear, especially with the Chinese community. They were freaked out. Mm-hmm.
But then how is Bitcoin mining illegal? That's the part that I don't understand. Unless they steal electricity, right?
I think it's all about regulation, right? If you're making money and government's not making money, right? go figure, right? Speaking from that perspective, yes, you're just connecting to the power grid and you're turning on your machine, right? That's all Bitcoin mining is. But you can say that about farming too, right? You put some seeds on the ground, you make some vegetables out, but the government wants a little bit of tax on that, right?
They want to cut. Yeah, they want some
Give
of
them
it.
a cut. Give them a cut. Give them a cut. So
Yeah, pay them in Bitcoin.
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right, so that's one of bits of FUD. Okay, so we got Uniswap also. So on the DeFi front, Uniswap is looking at layer 2 scaling. So yet again, this is where we've had so many issues with Ethereum congestion. Everyone's looking at scaling solutions at this current point. We know that Ethereum 2.0, that's going to take a while to come out. Right now, it's in the phase 0. So it hasn't actually become operational yet. It hasn't done all the miraculous scaling yet. So people are looking for an interim solution while this is happening. So this is where kind of layer 2, or technically, if you're a programmer, it's layer 1.5. Because we're not there yet. Programmers count from 0. They also, call it 1.5 because they want to throw some salt on these scaling solutions. But they're looking at Arbitrum and Optimism. But it feels like right now this is a big battle, right? Plasma, we got the OMG guys on that. We got Matic, Polygon. I think you'll talk about that a little bit, Yuen. But scaling is becoming super important, and we'll have to see which one they settle with, because right now this is an issue. None of these solutions are perfect, and that's what's making all these solutions both viable, but at the same time compromising.
Right.
That's kind of way. All right. Final stuff. Final positivity. This is the stuff that I'm looking about. So, Chainalysis is a company that analyzes what's happening on the blockchain, and what they've seen that the whales have bought literally $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. So you see these outflows going to these big wallets, and this is what kind of people who are experienced in the space are doing. So you can see that this is very, very much a situation of the big guys. They're just doubling down. And I feel like this is where kind of veterancy and experience in the space really matters, because all the veterans, what they're doing is that when fear comes, when people freak out, when Bitcoin falls to $31,000, it takes a nosedive. They're the ones who are just like slowly buying that up. And then the people who don't really understand the space, they're the ones who are panicking, freaking out, and potentially selling at the bottom. So this is something to watch out for. But this is some interesting data. It's interesting data. $3.3 billion being bought. So obviously they have some fiat sitting around there. So congrats if you guys bought the dip. That's good. And obviously, be careful, not financial advice, of course. The other thing, the last thing I wanted to talk about is we got billionaire Carl Icahn says he's looking at a potential $1.5 billion in crypto investment. So that number seems very familiar. That seems like almost like Elon Musk's number. I think there's a little bit of copycat trading going on. He's like a copy trader, right? He's like, oh, that Elon Musk guy seems to be up to something. Let me click the. Let me copy him. Me too, right? It's like ordering, like they're like dinner ordering some Bitcoin. You're like, I'll have that too, please. I'll have whatever he's having. So he's very famous around. He's a billionaire investor. He runs the Icahn investment. He runs his own fund. Obviously, I think what's important about this is now it's much more kosher to talk about crypto investments, right? So I feel like, if this happened in 2012, right, I'll push this in like an extreme example. If Carl Icahn came out, I think he will be ridiculed throughout the entire community of these rich billionaires, right? Because at that time, you have the loudest voices, especially in 2012, being, the gold bugs, Peter Schiff, saying, yeah, it's going to go to zero, guys. It's going to go to zero. Remember, it's like it's going to go from $15 to $0 because, magic, right? So I think this is a big change this year where it's much more kosher for traditional guys to talk about Bitcoin. And Yuen, do you see that as well? Do you see that in these kind of investment communities in Hong Kong? Do you see that crypto is becoming a little bit more accepted as well? People are more okay with saying, yeah, I'm going to buy some more crypto.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we see people like in those traditional financial sector more willing to talk about digital currencies. I still remember back in 2018 and 2019 when you start talking to them about Bitcoin, Ethereum, they look at you as though you were the scammer.
Yeah.
So it still was it was
And it
quite
was
painful
rough,
to talk to
right?
them then. Yeah.
It was rough because like I said, I've been with you to one of those like meetups with like CEOs and top tier executives in Hong Kong, and when you open your mouth and you talked about Bitcoin and crypto and blockchain, they're all like, "Is this guy serious?"
Yeah.
He's a crazy man. He's a crazy man.
No, they think
he's a
that
little
you are
bit out there.
serious. They think that you're seriously trying to scam them.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, but that's changing now, right? So that's because what I've been hearing is that a lot of people who are skeptical, and we've seen that as well in Hong Kong, where all of a sudden, these tycoons and the daughters of tycoons suddenly start entering, clubhouse chats to say, "Yo, tell me a little bit more about DeFi. What's the top DeFi numbers? What are this going on?" So it's like all of a sudden, it's like it's kosher now to talk and buy Bitcoin, right?
Yeah. It's
such a big change.
Yeah, that's just the way things are going. It's finally like the cool thing that's like, oh, now it's okay, right? Now you can.
Now it's okay.
Like,
now it's okay. Kyle Icahn says it. So Elon Musk did it. Kyle Icahn does it. It's okay.
Right,
it's okay.
Right. And then whoever else, whichever billionaire next wants to do it, it's also okay. Real quick, I want to throw in so there's a guy, his username is study history to see truth, which I think is very truthful. History repeats itself. He donated $5 to the channel. He said, "Greetings, Yuen. Thank you for the work you and your team are doing moving labs forward. I'm a red card NFT holder and I can't wait to use it."
Ooh, we got supporters coming in.
I got some
fame.
Got some
red
fame.
card NFT. Nice. All right, so let's take a quick look at the markets before we talk to Yuen about what's going on and what's happening. So recently, obviously, we had the big crash last week. This week has been relatively stable. So, stable in crypto terms. So yeah, crypto hasn't moved up too much. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum, the big giants, the juggernauts, haven't moved up too much. BNB is moving up a little bit, so it's up to almost 362. So maybe trying to push for 400 again. So what we've been seeing is, we're gonna see a slight recovery. It's not recovered to the full, crazy levels yet. We're not seeing $4,000 Ethereum. We're not even seeing $3,000 Ethereum yet, but I feel like this is a situation where a calm market is actually a good market. We're seeing where the support really was, and it was actually pretty low, right? I'm not going to sugarcoat it here, right? When support really finally did come in after the big dump for Ethereum, we saw prices going from 4,000 all the way to 1,800. 1,900-ish level. So that was pretty scary. And if you look at TradingView, especially if you look at the charts, you definitely see it was almost like the Reaper was coming in and just cutting everyone down with these big, giant red candles that kind of crushed the market, right? So now finally, I think we're kind of in this recovery phase, and something that we've been seeing, right? So these are the kind of the Reaper scales coming in. We've been seeing a lot more health. So during this period of time, something that we noticed was that on FTX, the lending rates were going up to these really crazy levels, right? So before, the lending rate was almost like at 100%. And that was a sign that people were in very, very bad positions, because who's borrowing money? People who are forced to borrow money at 100% annual per annum rate, right? So that was a very unhealthy time back then. And also, of course, even though the funding rates were not seeing this, we're seeing traders just completely getting wrecked left, right, and center. Now, unfortunately, of course, right now for me, right, because I was providing the lend, I was making money on that. Unfortunately, lending right now is at a much lower rate. So it's like a 1%, which is kind of like a joke. Like 1% on my money back? Like, are you HSBC, Sam? That's
traditional savings account, bro.
Yeah, you gotta go for FTX Premium for that 1.2% lending rate. But anyways, it does seem like we're in a healthier state right now. So that's kind of my main focus right now for ththese few weeks. I've been trying to see how healthy this market really is, because obviously, if it's still unhealthy, right? If there's still too many leverage positions, then we could expect another one of these huge dumps, right? This is what I'm kind of eyeing here in this period of time. But it does seem to be the case where we're seeing a little bit of stability. We're seeing very strong resistance at 2,800. It seems like every time Ethereum moves up to this level, especially, we just can't move past it. So we'll have to see what happens next week. This week, I think I think there's a situation where the China FUD, people are still a little bit afraid. But if China doesn't make any big moves, I think this is where this market can move up. So that's kind of it for that. We'll also take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin hasn't moved too much, to be honest. I don't know. It's kind of a very similar story. It's $4,000 seems to be where it's kind of reaching that kind of very strong resistance. I think people who there is this sell-off narrative that's coming in, which could be what's pushing the prices down when people just have these limit orders here, just like they're thinking, oh, you know what, $40,000, it's time to take some profit. It moves up, just dump the market down. So it feels like that is kind of the case for us right now. So we're in this kind of narrow channel, which is very interesting. I feel like it's very reactionary right now. It's a very kind of like it's a knee-jerk reaction market. I do have to say on the altcoin front, it's kind of interesting because a lot of altcoins are like it depends on where you are. Some of the strong altcoins like Polygon, they're already recovered to almost their highs already. So if you look at Polygon, for example, it dumped all the way down, and this is my biggest regret. This is the reason why I mentioned this is because I was looking at this. I was wondering at 80 cents should I buy back in, and I did not press the buy button. This is me being stupid. But yeah, yet again, right now it's pushing all the way back to $2.30 for a peak yesterday, and kind of stabilizing on this period. So it seems like this is like almost like a 100% recovery for Polygon. It was rallying before early in May, and then it's back to its strength. And if I traded here, I could have been something good. This is me being filled with regret, me tormenting myself. But this is not true for every single coin. I mean, a lot of coins are down, especially just a few that are kind of hit quite hard. Compounds down, like Avalanche is down, Compounds down, Huobi is down. So it depends on where you are in the market, and yeah, it really depends. And this is where, for me personally, I'm more focused now. This market really put me into focus mode instead of, before it was get rich or get wrecked. Now it's more about focus and finding what's good. Now, Yuen, I think you've been dying to talk about this for some time. Labs is making some big moves into Polygon. So I guess I set the scene up for you perfectly. Do you want to talk a little bit about, I guess, talk about what you're doing, and then, what you're doing with Polygon and Matic and everything there as well. You there, Yuen?
I think he's fixing some stuff right now, so maybe
I think so.
Second.
I think so. Let's zoom in on his face. Let's zoom in on his face. Let's zoom in. Zoom in on his face. All right, check out Yuen. Is this gonna be? Yuen, are you there?
So focused. Talking about focus.
Are you there, Yuen?
I think he's trying to figure out his.
Yeah, I kept hearing echo. That's why I was trying to play with the Bluetooth.
Right.
Is it clear right now? I'm using a speakerphone.
Yeah, it's clear. It's clear. Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about Labs and what you guys are kind of doing there, and what you're doing with Matic as well?
Hello.
Hey. Can you hear us?
I hear you.
Is it clear right now? Because
yeah, it's clear. Echo. It's clear.
Okay, cool. What was the question? Yes, sorry.
Okay, so what's happening with Labs? So we talked a little bit about Polygon just now, but you guys are doing something really cool with Polygon. What's happening there, Yuen?
Yeah, we were very happy to form a strategic partnership with Polygon. I remember that we tried to organize a session with them in China, and then we managed to get them on ABTC. Yeah. So after that, the Polygon guys came back and asked us whether we are interested, to integrate with their platform. And at that time, because we have chosen another chain already, so we said maybe it was a bit difficult. That was a very silly choice, that I made. Yeah,
you're breaking up a little bit. It seems like the Wi-Fi is cutting off. Hello. Yeah, you seem to be breaking off a little bit, Yuen.
Just the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Oh,
hopefully it's okay.
Uh-oh.
I think it froze up a little bit. All right. I think let's see. I see a second Yuen here. Okay, Yuen just cloned himself. That's a good move. That's a good move. That's legit.
How do you do that?
Yeah, he just cloned himself. He's like, there's 2 Yuens now.
What's happening?
Yeah, we just saw you clone yourself. Is this
Let me edit that. Sorry guys, let me edit that. Come back here.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
Cool. Yeah, technical difficulties, guys. Technical difficulties. All right, let's look at chat. So let me remove Yuen. Let me remove Yuen. Let's check out about chat. Chat. Scary Adam says, "Nice office, terrible mic." I've got to run there and get him a mic. We'll give him a big penis mic. All right, one of the big penis mics. That'll be great. I think that's the classic mic, right? We got Lenny says, "When Matic dips, I will buy a ton." Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's really crazy.
I should have held my Matic, man. I bought Matic at 6 cents.
Oh, and you sold early?
Ouch! Yes, I did. Unfortunately, and that's the one rule. Like, you never sell all, right? It's like
I never sell all. I usually sometimes I take if it goes to 3x, I'll take say I'll sell 30% and take my original principal back. So for me, getting back principal is quite important. So this way I can keep on, having funds around, right? So not investment advice, but that's kind of a strategy I do. And if it gets, sometimes when it bursts up to 10x, I'll take another 10% out, right? Nice. So, but I'll almost never sell the entire amount, especially for a project that I do believe in. And I think it's a situation with Matic that, Matic really deserves that success. They really do deserve that success coming to them. Like they've been building hard. They're using every single scaling solution. Right now, the popular one is the POS chain that everyone is on, and it's like you can. And I guess the easy part right now is you can just click a single button and just configure yourself to be on that chain, right? So recently, all the box guys, right, they're showing me the My Finance there. So let me just throw that up there. They were showing me My Finance. I don't want to show this too hard. Yet again, it's not a situation I haven't really looked at all the nuances yet. But if you click connect to wallet, you can just go and just basically just connect there.
This is My MAI.
Yeah, My Finance, and then you can just connect to the right network. Oh, they don't even have that? Come on. There's usually there's a quick button to get the Matic network up and working. But let me hide my screen for a sec because I don't want to show everyone my details. But with Quick Swap, you can I think it's Quick Swap that you can just quickly get the Matic network set up and then get funds to cross over the Matic bridge, which is something I did last week to figure out what the hell is going on. Okay, so there we go. So I'll show you. I'll show you guys this. So Quick Swap is like the Matic version of Uniswap, and you can switch to Matic. So it'll just add the data, so Matic network. It'll add the mainnet, and then add the chain ID. You approve, switch to network, and then you're pretty much good to go, right? So you're connected there. You're good to go, and you can start swapping assets if you want. So that's pretty good. And you can just cross your assets over to Matic, and it's super cheap, right? It's like literally cents to do that transaction when you are in there. So, I don't want to show this too hard, but it's just like, it's stuff I've been playing. So a few things I've been playing right now is Polygon Matic. I've also been playing around with Solana, Avalanche as well. I've also been playing with Cosmos, Polkadot. Like that's kind of the fun part. That's the more fun part about experimenting with every single network, seeing how they run, seeing what the user flow is right now. It's entertaining. It's fun. I guess
trying to see which horse is gonna run the furthest, huh?
Yeah, and you gotta try them all, right? I think this is the thing about crypto. You can't just stick to what you know. You gotta see what's out there too, and you gotta learn from everything. Right, and I think this is why we move so fast, because everyone learns from everything. So I think we got Yuen back on again. Let me throw Yuen back. Hey Yuen, how's it going? Can you see us?
Good, thanks. Yeah, sorry, I had some technical issues. Yeah, but
no worries. Yeah, I think the internet is still a little bit slow, but I'm not sure if you can fix your Wi-Fi a little bit. But your audio is breaking up a lot, and your video is breaking up a little bit. All right, Yuen just paused, so unfortunately.
Did you clone him?
Yeah. Poor Yuen. Poor Yuen.
Is that better
Next
right
time
now?
I'll come to it. Yeah, a little bit better. Next time I'll come to your office, okay? Next time I'll come to your office.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, going from the start again. Okay, so you're building property related project. You're building exchanging property as well. I don't want to reveal too much. I think I know some unannounced stuff there, so I had to pause myself. I had to rephrase a few things. But okay, so what is happening? Why why go Matic? You know, what was the reasoning, and what can you do there in the future?
Yeah, so I was trying to share the story, right? So we did organize one panel session for together with Polygon on ABTC, the largest Chinese blockchain media site. Yeah. So after that, they actually asked labs, whether we guys are interested to go on Polygon. At that time, because we have picked another chain already, so we said that maybe not this time, but we'll investigate this later. And that was such a silly mistake, right? And then I was like, oh no, and Polygon was getting bigger, and more efficient and all this, right? And I tried to reach back to all those guys again, but it was so difficult to reach them. At that time, they were so hot already. Yeah. So I had to, use some of my connection and said, hey, do you mind helping us to, contact the Polygon guys? And finally, we managed to reach out to them, and then we explained our vision of trying to be, a real estate investment ecosystem. And they kind of like our idea. So we explained to them what we try to do. We try to, disrupt the real estate investment sector, make real estate investment possible for everyday investors. So they were very supportive. And I said, look, we are going to be the first real estate investment ecosystem on Polygon. Can you give us some support? And they were so nice. We organized an AMA session in their Telegram group and all this. And then they even retweeted on the partnership news and all this. Yeah. And
nice.
I was also very surprised when I think it was 3 days back when I actually sent Sandeep a tweet and saying that, hey, Sandeep, we are the first real estate project on Polygon. Can you share some love and retweet on our partnership news? And he really did. Yeah. So it was such a pleasant surprise. Yeah.
Nice. Congrats, man. So what are you building on there? So once you're on Matic, I mean, obviously you get the faster transactions, but what are you building? What can people do on the platform? What's going to be deployed?
Yeah. So basically, for labs, we have a three-pronged strategy. So we have the crowdfunding and our trading platform, and then we have the collateralized lending platform for real estate projects, and then we have the NFT on resort and hotels. Yeah. So we are building our issuance and crowdfunding platform firstly on Polygon and also on a real chain. So we will adopt the multi-chain approach, and to integrate on Polygon is such a breeze, yeah, because firstly, our labs issuance and crowdfunding platform was built on Quorum, and that Quorum is just a fork of Ethereum, a kind of like an enterprise version of Ethereum. So it was so easy, like ABC, and we were so happy. So all our smart contracts have been successfully deployed on Polygon, and we think that with their support, we should be able to go live, next month. Yeah.
Congrats. Nice. So that's really good. Very exciting to see that coming next month, guys. So I think there was a question earlier, but I think you kind of answered this. So there was a question about whether you're going to still continue building on Rio Chain.
Yes. So like what I said, we want to make real estate investment possible to as many people as in the world globally, no matter where you are. So we want to adopt a multi-chain platform approach. Yeah. So we have been giving a lot of pressure to our CTO, and he said that if that's what you want, he will make it happen. Yeah.
Nice. That's all you want to hear. You don't want to hear a CTO complain and be like, "Yo, this is hard, man. This is not easy." but yeah, that's what you want to hear. So congrats on that, guys, and definitely I think it is true that Sandeep and stuff is getting very popular. But you can of course find Sandeep on our Box Mining private chat. So if you are lucky enough, and this is for people who have been loyal followers, it's never a paid group. You can't pay to get in. It's one of the groups that's like really reserved for people who know their stuff, who've been contributing to this community. He's on there. He's giving some corrections about what's happening as well in this interpretation. Cosmetic, there's actually different components as well. So yeah, I think that's super cool. So catch you guys on there. There's also a public group right now. So there's public and private. Both are free to access, but the private's just a little bit more for people who have been around for a while. But if you want to get started, you want to get into this family, join the Box fam. Check out the public group. That's open for everyone to join. Sometimes it might get a little bit spammy, but yeah, people who are really cool there. I'll just read between the lines. All right. Okay, cool, guys. So that's pretty much wrapping up for today's segment, guys. So I'll first of all thank you guys all for coming on. And we'll see how it goes on this market. I hope you guys can see, check out Labs a little bit more as well. I think it's kind of interesting because real estate is not the first thing people think about in crypto, but it's something that, if you've been in crypto for a long time, you're kind of thinking of like real estate. Like I'm almost thinking about real estate. So what's your hot tip, Yuen? If I want to get into real estate right now, what's hot?
Yeah, how do we do it?
So please watch our space closely because next month I think we'll be introducing one very disruptive real estate project. Yeah. Okay, let's you hear it here first. Yeah. It will be an entire resort. We will issue NFT on that entire resort and let all the holders enjoy the profit sharing and staying rights and a lot of incentive. And we will decide. We have decided that the community will decide on the naming. So watch the space. Yeah. Stay tuned.
Watch this. A whole resort coming up. So we push Yuen's buttons. So thank you, Yuen. First, he first heard on here, but something really huge happening with a resort. So you're looking at resort properties because you're expecting the end of COVID, right? You're getting on the discounts during COVID, right? So this is the strategy
That's
right
correct,
now.
yeah.
I think that's a good strategy because I feel like that a lot of resorts are probably suffering a lot right now. COVID essentially cut down their income. Especially if you look at, I like watching travel videos. So I've been watching a lot of these travel videos, and I've seen a lot of empty resorts, right? Just completely empty. And some of them are newly built as well, and they're going to be in financial trouble. So Yuen's there scooping that up, expecting COVID is going to be over in a year, and
it might not be over, but people just have to adopt to the situation, right? Yeah. There were people who asked me like, hey, why do you work on resorts and all this? Because this is such a bad timing, I said, no, look at it from another way. This is indeed the perfect timing to talk to them right now. Because just imagine if it is not such a situation, would they be talking to people like us, right? No way. Yeah.
So you have very big entities talking to them, and they have to talk to you right now, right? That's amazing.
Precisely. Yeah.
That's amazing. Nice. So stay tuned in the labs. Watch out what's happening, guys. And we'll pay a visit to Yuen's office sometime. He's got a really nice view. I'm gonna steal some of your awesome view, guys. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Nate, do you want to show anything recently, or talk about any recent stuff that you've been doing recently?
I just have a question for you, and I was wondering where the resort was located, or like what areas are you looking at regarding to the resort?
Nate, you're trying to push me. I already announced a very big thing here. It will be in South Asia. Yeah, South Asia. Yeah. It is okay. It is a resort near Bali, so it's a very very sexy resort and all this, and we want to make it peer owned. Even the naming, we'll let the committee decide. Wow. So it will be called something NFT resorts.
Ooh, an
that-
NFT resort. Ooh,
Yes.
ooh. Fun times, fun times. All right, guys. I think we dug in enough for information. So, guys, thank you. Important leaks coming up soon, and I'll just show Nathan's channel here. So, if you guys haven't seen it yet, Nathan's making videos on crypto knots. He's making super awesome videos. Look at this
Yeah.
awesome video on Refinable. Wow, look at that handsome guy. Look at that hair on point. So yeah, check out his stuff. He's making some really cool stuff. I'll put the link down here as well on what's happening. But Nathan's making a lot of videos recently, so check out his stuff. And we got a naming suggestion where Chris says it's Box Hotel. That Box Hotel.
Ooh, I'd vote for that.
Dude,
That'd be kind of cool.
that's the way to go, guys. So also big thank you for Yuen for coming on, for leaking a little bit of information what he's working on. He couldn't contain his excitement. I saw that in him. He just couldn't contain his excitement.
I wouldn't talk anymore. Yeah. That's it.
And so Labs, they're doing real estate there. Check out Labs, check out what they're doing. So today was meant to be Polygon only, but I think we got a little bit more out of that. So guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode. We'll see you guys very soon. Hopefully you guys stay safe. Weekend, I just do have to say, so last weekend, the volume in crypto was very low, so we had some bleed outs over the weekend as well. So I'm kind of like very cautious over the weekend. So not financial advice, of course. I'm just saying, guys, I'm gonna be very, very careful over this weekend because of low volume. Low volume can mean two things. It can mean that we can dip if people are selling, or kind of it can move up. So who knows about that? But we're gonna spot that and see what's going on. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching.
Yeah.
We're gonna see it. We'll see.
He's asking for some tips.
You're seeing some tips.
He's pushing you now, bro. He's pushing
me. He's pushing
Yes,
me, man.
yeah.
I'm full degen right now. I'm back to full degen right now. So stay tuned. Come to my public channel. Come to the public channel. Come to the private channel. We're discussing something called Spell there. I have no idea. It's like it's got some crazy ass vibes, but it's already super crazy right now. So just be careful, guys. All right, guys. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, pretty much that. Thank you guys. See you guys soon.
Guys.
Peace.
See you guys soon. Yep.